Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs, it's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these du Paraquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The du Paraquets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the du Paraquets now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Diplomatic connections that reach far beyond the boundaries of Val Royeaux, perhaps?
I might make use of your ambassador. The Montiliers aren't what they were, but at least they're from proper stock. Arrange for me to be introduced to the court of Antiva. I hear winter is most pleasant by their sea. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the du Paraquets into lordship. Inquisitor.
At your order. I must return to Val Royeaux to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can. Those who had been cast down, the demons who would...
So Gaspard favors the trade you've started, but Celine favors marriage.
My, you'd think they'd lost another divine.
By the Maker, it's the Inquisitor himself. Would you care for a bouquet of flowers, your worship? The roses have been exceptional this season.
I was looking for some flowers, in fact.
Indeed. For what occasion, if I may ask?
For a lady friend.
Oh, no simple wildflowers for you then. I have just the thing. I'll send them to Skyhold, in fact. Rare beauties your lady will adore.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them, that you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer.
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Val Royeaux when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
How did you go from being a wandering singer to an ambassador?
In a very sad fashion. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard drew a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
I don't see the fault. You survived, as did your patron.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... Forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montilyet, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
Inquisitor, isn't it? A title with sudden pedigree. Friend gave up the location of the Elder Lord's fete.
I heard the stable.
Do you actually intend to defy the Chartreuse?
There is no intent.
Oh, yes.
An impressive title, Inquisitor. Would you spend like it?
c'est que you.
Oh my. They are heroes, you know. I have relatives in Denham. They saw
Inquisitor, isn't it?
We have tracked her, and now the groom has run off as well. Something about cousins and the western approach.
Inquisitor, welcome. Thanks to your investment, I have all manner of runners scouring the wake of your adventures. If there's a tome that eludes you, I will
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Ah, the Inquisitor. A genuine luminary of our current circumstance. Please, enjoy.
look around.
Could be better.
Good day. Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Anything you need.
Right. That's why.
Good day. Good day. Good day.
You must be the surfacer they call the Inquisitor. That right? Wish I could sell you some books. Wish I could sell anyone some books. Sod it all.
You're a bookseller?
Normally, yes. No need to look at me so funny. Thought I'd come here and try my luck selling books and scholarly crap to all the mages crowded hereabouts. Naturally, they've all up and vanished like a fart in a cavern. I'd go home if I just had any of my stock. What a mess.
So what happened exactly?
Surfacers happened. It took all my coin for bribes just to find out the damn Templars ambushed my wagon before it got here. Thought I was bringing supplies to the robes. So it's out there, but who knows where.
Any books of poetry in your wagon?
Sure. Mages love that stuff. Fat lot of good it does me now.
Inquisitor, I've something for you. seem little more than thugs. Inquisition presence should help keep the area safe. Safer than it was, at least.
That didn't work.
The ancient Imperium did like to leave a mark. I wonder how long they stayed.
Was this what combat was trying to reach?
You may want to see this. Inquisitor! I was going to send word. I found something. This inscription, almost completely faded, but... 2 stood. Felled 60 true before our triumph.
A breath in the hunt, and let rest the lowlanders, worthy of the lady's care. The markings and surrounding artifacts date to Ameridan's time. The references and scripts suggest Avar.
What's your theory?
I need to complete a full survey and have Professor Kenrick evaluate the site himself. But this may be a tribute to Heron and Orina, Inquisitor Ameridan's companions.
What makes you think the inscription refers to Heron and Orina?
It's only a theory, but the age of the markings and surrounding artifacts match the timeline we've established for Ameridan. We know that Ameridan and his companions came into violent contact with the Avar. I found glass fragments in the clay, several with slight veins of discoloration. Blue. Like Templar artifacts.
Templars?
The Templars were a new order in Ameridan's time. Given their small numbers then, few would be found outside the Chantry's reach. It's unusual to find one deep in uncharted territory, unless he traveled here for a purpose, as Heron would have.
What happened here?
An encounter with ancient Avar, and not a friendly one. Ameridan and his companions were outnumbered in an unfamiliar place. If Ameridan's not here, perhaps someone bought him the time needed to keep going?
If this is the resting place of Heron and Orina, it only remains because the Avar took time to honor them.
Respect for a worthy adversary? It wouldn't be out of place.
What do you know about Heron?
When the Templar Order was first formed, Sir Heron was among its members. He's arguably the most famous of the original Templars, though he was never one of their leaders. He's better known as one of Inquisitor Ameridan's confidants. They'd known each other since youth.
So they were close. Friends.
When Ameridan was made Inquisitor, Heron's position in his inner circle was assumed. A few ballads about them survive. The type with adventures and happy endings. I don't know if they're true. They remind me of my brothers, though.
What can you tell me about Orina?
Orina was an alchemist in Orzammar. It's said she met Ameridan while dealing with a demon, but it's not known why Ameridan was there. Demons aren't common in the deep roads, but they were a problem for the Inquisition at the time. Orina knew she could help, so she joined Ameridan.
If she left Orzammar, that would make her a surfacer.
She turned her back on the stone, though it's said she had few regrets. Some claim she was actually from one of Orzammar's noble families, but who can say? She never used her last name on the surface, and once exiled, the family likely struck her name from personal documents. Professor Kenrick petitioned Orzammar's Shaperate to grant access to their records, but the request was turned down.
What will you do with this information?
Professor Kenrick will expect detailed notes on the location, stone and clay samples, and any trace artifacts I can find. If Ameridan's history is compiled, this could be worth an entire chapter. I might get credit on the inside cover.
Thank you, Colette.
Inquisitor.
The Hackonites were pushed back from the river.
That will put minds at ease, sir. I'll arrange patrols for the area. It's no Imperial highway, but we'll see people along as safely as we can.
That will be all, Lieutenant.
Sir?
Did you see Scout Grandin on your way back? He should be on watch, but he's gone. Grandin was a good friend of Jace Turbat, one of the researchers. He was killed by Hackonites. I'm starting to worry that Grandin's gone and done something stupid. He was supposed to send word back when he reached his station, but nothing. Keep an eye out for him, please. For me.
I helped our soldiers defend against a Hackenite raid.
That's a relief. We've lost enough men to them.
I should go.
May I help you, Inquisitor?
A spirit on the island held the memories and possessions of Ameridan's lover, a woman named Talana. It told us that Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Dracon himself, and where he went next.
Trusty's dimples. I may have received tenure from that sentence alone. Ameridan had a lover. Talana, you said. The Inquisitor's Lady Mage. There was such debate over whether she existed. And there were orders? This was a request from Dracon? This changes everything.
It's fascinating to find new evidence about these things. The spirit said to follow the river to the north, and something about spires or spikes.
Up the river, the scouts have had trouble with Hackonites up there. I'll continue my research, but for now, your guess is as good as mine.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
That spirit on the island said something about a Meriden going upriver to, some place with spires? While you search upriver, I'll continue studying these buckles. That, sounded better in my head.
Cassandra, I owe you an apology.
Apologize to me. For what?
For judging your seekers. Considering my feelings on Tevinter, I shouldn't throw stones.
That is remarkably decent of you, Dorian.
It was fun to goad you. You get this little knot between your eyebrows. See? There it is. Delightful.
Continue on this path and we'll see if it remains such.
Goat-kissing, blood-drinking, Hackenite chicken craps! Thank you, Inquisitor. Storvacker has returned. My hunters saw what you and she did to the Hackenites who held her. In trapping Storvacker, the jaws of Hakon broke their peace oath with Stonebear Hold. Our blades are yours.
I assume your bear is all right after whatever they were going to do to her.
She is fine. As for what they were going to do, my hunters brought items back from where they held Storvacker. I know what they intended. It is not something you will like. Something few Avar would tell Lowlanders. But you must hear it. The jaws of Hakon sought to bind their god in mortal form and bring war to the Lowlands.
By saving your bear, have we put an end to their plans?
Though you have given them pause, they will try again. Ages ago, the old jaws of Hakon did the same. They brought their god to life to destroy the Lowlands. Their foolishness lost Hakon to all Avar. Now they would free him and begin again.
What did you mean when you said that their foolishness lost Hakon to all Avar?
When they bound Hakon to mortal form, he became blood of this world. He could hear no prayers, nor speak to the augurs. All he could do was kill. Then he vanished instead of dying, as though rendered mute, lost for ages. If they sought to free him from mortal form, I could understand. Making him attack the Lowlands is a fool's work.
The Avar wouldn't like the idea of war with the Lowlands.
Is that what your skalds say? It does us no harm to be feared. If our land is threatened, we will happily fight. And a raid here and there keeps both sides sharp. But we have no need of your Lowlands. Not when our goats are fat and our fish are plenty. And not when the sky is torn with demons. Only a fool fights in a burning boat.
What would happen if the jaws of Hakon succeeded in their plan?
Hakon would come to the Lowlands in the form of a great beast. The Hackonites would join him.
their numbers swelled by foolish young warriors dreaming of honor names. Even if war were needed, it should not be like that. With gods wreaking havoc in blood-soaked fields, the gods should stay where they belong.
You said that the Jaws of Hakon first tried binding their god in mortal form hundreds of years ago.
What of it?
In our search for Inquisitor Emeridon, we learned that he came here to fight a great dragon 800 years ago. A dragon that came from the mountains with Avar warriors to attack the lowlands.
Your last Inquisitor must have fought well to stop Hakon himself.
You're not bothered by the idea that our Inquisitor killed your god?
He didn't kill him. That would have been easier. Whatever fight your Inquisitor finished, the Jaws of Hakon started. I find no fault with a warrior defending his people.
Do the Avar gods take mortal form on a regular basis?
No. The gods belong in the land of dreams. Whether it is their wish or some augurs that brings them here, battle tears will be shed. The skulls say the Lady of the Skies took mortal form when Tyrda Brightaxe first led the Avar to the mountains. They say many things about Brightaxe and the Lady.
Based on what we know, what must we do to stop the Jaws of Hakon?
Their hold is an old lowlander fortress. It is shielded by a great wall of ice. Magic even the Hakonites do not know. Unravel its magic, and we will scatter their bones so the Lady never finds them.
We still need a way to melt the wall of ice around the Hakonites' fortress. Do you have any ideas?
No. It is lowlander magic and nothing to do with us. Our spirit talkers are useless as battle goats. The Hakonites must have found the magic in the old fortress. Speak to your people. Perhaps they will know more. Walk with the Lady's blessing.
Greetings, stranger.
Our guests are welcome, so long as their weapons stay sheathed.
Catch anything today?
Nothing yet. Too many visitors stirring up the forest. The gods don't like it.
Well met.
The Inquisition has brought an offering to enter your trials.
Yes! Oh, this'll be a fight to remember. I mean, enter the arena grounds. Hakon's trials await.
I'm ready to begin Hakon's trials.
Excellent. Step into the grounds, and we'll begin.
Did I hear this right? You met Corypheus before?
We didn't have tea and crumpets, Sparkler. I was there when he woke up.
And he said what? Hello, I'm one of the Magisters who broke into the Black City. Pleased to meet you.
That's more like... I'm a darkspawn. Too much. Then Hawk killed him.
Not very well, it appears.
Tell me about it.
What a fight! That maneuver... Well, you shot well fought, Inquisitor.
Farewell.
Safe journey.
Why do they dress like that?
Be welcome, Inquisitor. Though I fear I've time for little more than a greeting. I must prepare these souls for their greater journey, particularly those who depart without the reverence due. Their way is often hardest.
I'm not familiar with Avar funerals. May I ask what proper rites entail?
When the time comes, we are given sky burials. For most, the body is laid out and prayers given. When the birds come, they carry the soul to the Lady of the Skies. The body, unneeded, is gone.
For most?
Some souls, such as Calden's, are chosen to return. The Augur reads the signs of birth. It is a rare honor. In order to return, an offering is made to Korth the Mountain Father and buried beneath the body. A piece of the soul thus remains, allowing the rest to return to this world and be reborn.
Will someone not be given proper rites?
Calden Enverson is one of the few whose soul may return. Bloodkin must make an offering to the Huntmaster, who prepares it. Or so it should be. Calden's son, Finn, has failed in this duty, but then there's you.
Me?
You're a guest of our hold. A gift from you cannot be refused. Even an offering for Calden. I cannot dictate the nature of a gift, but if my suggestion appeals to you, speak to the Huntmaster.
Holden's son is injured. It's not his fault he can't make the offering.
As disappointing as that may be, it is not my place to ignore the gods' laws on a whim. I honor them in word and spirit, Inquisitor.
You suggested a way around tradition by letting me make the offering.
The spirits have seen Finn fail. To undo it may be to undo their will. A gift from another does not bear this weight. Calden's soul could travel easily.
I should be off.
Lady keep you.
Heard you passed Hakon's trials. If you hunt as well as you fight, you'll fit in well.
I spoke to the woman preparing bodies for funeral. She said I might make an offering. For Calden.
How would... as a gift? Sly woman. In that case, I'll accept an offering from the hand that gives it. Tradition says the offering's made to Korth. Only creatures who touch the gods' realm will do. I'll mark where some were last spotted. It'd be an unmatched gift, Lowlander. I still pity Calden's son, though, losing his father's name.
What do you mean?
Finn failed to complete the rites. That'll see him disowned when the burial's complete. He's fatherless whether you do this or not, Inquisitor.
Seeing it done will give him some peace, I imagine.
Farewell.
Farewell.
The animals the Huntmaster described.
Fascinating. I suspect it came into contact with the Fade.
should search the area.
Orders for Grandin.
And dead Hackonites. Impressive that he fought them off alone.
You've seen this red lyrium before, yes?
Wish I hadn't.
Do you know if a mage could access its power?
Don't go there, Sparkler. Don't wonder if it's useful. Don't even think about it. Just stay far away and hope none of it gets to your stupider cousins back home.
These were Hackonites.
And that's an Inquisition dagger. Harding said that scout might try something stupid.
Someone's cut their way through these Hakon warriors. I can't decide if it's impressive or disconcerting.
Inquisition soldier.
Inquisitor, I've abandoned my post, haven't I? I had cause, just missing the permission part.
Harding told us about your friend, Jace.
He was studying at the university. Those Hakon bastards. Jace wasn't a soldier, he wasn't even armed. After this, he was going to show me Val Royeaux. I've never been. I thought we might... I can't let this happen.
I'm sorry, Grandin.
I wasn't a soldier either, not before this. I lived in the Circle. Never had the skill for combat spells, so I picked up a sword. I wanted to fight for the Inquisition. The jaws of Hakon almost ended that, too. I was bleeding out when it saw me. It knows what I know. They will not kill more people. Not like Jace. I will protect them, Inquisitor.
This is bad.
It doesn't have to be this way. Release Grandin's spirit.
Release? The spirit remains because I want it to. I will protect our people. I want to fight, Inquisitor.
You're not walking out of here, demon.
If you stop me, then I cannot stop them. I won't allow it.
Better than leaving him as an abomination.
Harding will inform the family of the death, if not the details.
No, no, no! I cannot have guests, lowlanders, even those who don't hail from the hold.
Who are you? And why are you out here?
If I tell you, will you leave me be? I am Sigrid Gulsdotten, Augur's apprentice. I exiled myself from Stonebear Hold.
You exiled yourself.
Aye, I did. And my tongue will say no more on that.
You're not as handsome as you think, Dorian.
I must be. Or you wouldn't have been thinking about it all this time.
Anyone who claims it as often as you do must be dreadfully concerned they're not.
Look at this profile. Isn't it incredible? I picture it in marble.
must have made a great impression on the Avar. Some of them paid us a friendly visit. A couple even helped repair our fortifications. And one woman brought us a barrel of fermented fish. Kenrick ate some. To be polite, he said. Well, he was a very polite shade of green.
I've news about Scout Grandin.
Maker. Don't tell me. He's dead, isn't he?
Yes. He is dead.
Another one, gone. Just like that. Never get used to it, do you? Maker. I'll miss him. The boy was great company. Terrible jokes, but that was a part of his charm. You know?
I should go.
Have you found a way through that wall of ice around the Hackenites' old fortress? Fair hunt.
Tell you, lowlanders from the north.
Inquisitor?
Farewell.
Farewell.
Our guests are welcome, so long as their weapons stay sheathed.
Half the traps were empty.
Is someone poaching?
tell you? Lowlanders from the north.
You're the one they speak about in the lowlands, aren't you? The Herald of Andraste.
Many call me that.
Helmsdim Rolfson. I trade our goods outside the hold. You'll not find better this side of the mountain.
Have you traveled outside of Stonebear Hold?
Course Mountain Father provides. But press us, and we'll admit there's lowlander goods we can't craft ourselves. I sell our goods there. The old trader taught me how to read and write, and how to act in your cities.
Where does your trading take you?
Denerim and Southreach in Ferelden. Leeds and Verchet in Orlais. When the passes are clear, I take our wares to Val Royeaux.
Surely you can get a fair price for your goods closer than Val Royeaux.
Ah, well, that's truth, but have you seen it? My heart lies with the hold, but I'll die remembering the light on the gates of the sun.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Everyone thinks I'm mad when I speak of Orlais. They believe I make half of it up. As if I could dream up those fountains and palaces, and those frilly little cakes. Most in the hold call any city outside the mountains prideful, though. Lowlander folly.
Farewell.
Another...
Be welcome.
I met a mage in the woods who said she used to be an augur's apprentice.
Sigrid Goldstotten. She left the hold when I told her she must release her teacher.
Aren't you her teacher?
She might have heeded me if I were. Oh, perhaps not. It's time the spirit in her was free.
She's an abomination.
Every mage in the hold is made one with the gods till they're strong enough. I thought Sigrid strong enough. Exile was her own motion.
Why did Sigrid go into exile?
Sigrid built an altar by the shore for her rite of thanksgiving, a ritual to part her from her teacher. Sigrid claims her offering was spurned by the gods. The spirit remains with her, and she's taken to exile.
I'd like to ask something.
Then ask.
You let spirits possess your mages on purpose?
What better teacher than one woven from magic? The spirits in the hold have helped us in this way for hundreds of years. Once a mage masters their powers, their teacher departs, duty ended. Unless the mage is weak.
What happens to these weak mages?
Their teachers stay with them, and the other gods watch them both, so neither soul turns sick. If one does sicken, or the mage stands in risk of harming the hold, one day, they do not wake in their bed. It is very sad. It is what must be done.
I should be off.
Farewell.
What did I tell you? Lowland. From the north.
Why do they dress like that?
The augur said that mage, Sigrid, tried and failed to release her spirit. Looks like the tools for her ritual are still here. A skinned bird and a bundle of insects.
The rings for this mage's ritual. Why are they still here?
Good question. scorch marks.
I see you eyeing Bianca, Sparkler. Hands to yourself.
I wouldn't worry. She's not my type.
Ha! And here I thought you were a man of refined taste.
For fine wine and literature, Varric, not for whatever that contraption is.
Contraption? Don't listen to him, sweetheart. His people are vilified for a reason.
The grass is trampled down here. Fight?
I do not think so. There are tracks. It was likely a heart.
Probably not important then.
If you don't know what you're doing, it takes a lot of energy to banish a spirit.
Then why is the vial still full?
You returned.
The Augur told me why you're here.
That Chatterjay! What business is it of his to tell that to a lowlander?
About the ritual you were performing, Sigrid.
I had to burn a proper offering, then let my guiding spirit free. I made the offering, the gods did not accept.
I found a bird and incense by the altar. They weren't burnt at all.
I brought more than I needed. When I fled, I left everything.
You would have needed to take the lyrium at the start of the ritual, not the end.
And so?
The vial I found was full.
Do you accuse me, stranger?
I'd just like to help another mage, if you need it.
Will you understand? I hear lowlander mages see the gods differently. I made no offering. I prepared. I began the spell to release the spirit here with me.
And?
I could not do it. I have no close companions in the hold, no kin. I cannot lose my only friend.
You're friends with this spirit?
It has taught me with patience and kindness since I was a child. Frightened of the fire I could suddenly call down. The gods change, the gods can die, and yet I do not want to lose the one who loves me.
It would be hard to let go of such unique friendship.
It is. Yet I swore an oath. I think the Augur knew. All this time he knew I never cast the ritual. It is not right to stay in pity. I will confess to him.
It's for the best. Maybe the Augur will help you release your spirit friend.
I do not need his help. I would ask for his advice. Farewell, Lowlander.
should be enough for the offering.
The Huntmaster said he'd accept a gift from the hand that gave it. Let Finn do it.
Kind though that may be, it bends the laws of their tradition. It's something to consider. I cannot stop thinking of our earlier discussion. You don't actually intend to go through with courting me, do you?
I said I would, and I will.
I believe you. Yet,
You don't sound like you believe me.
it wasn't a challenge, my lord. You needn't do it simply because I suggested you could not.
It's very simple. I care for you.
You enjoy making things complicated, don't you?
I'd like to speak with you. In private.
Oh? How private?
There's a grove just outside of Skyhold. Meet me there.
If you're certain.
I am. Trust me. On aching branch do blossoms grow, the wind a hallowed breath. It carries the scent of honeysuckle, sweet as the lover's kiss. It brings the promise of more tomorrows, of sighs and whispered bliss.
You can't be serious.
As I recall, your list was very specific.
And that is the poem you chose?
Oh, so the list is more detailed than I thought.
Carmenum de Amatus. I thought this one was banned. His lips on mine speak words not voiced, a prayer, which travels down my spine like flames that shatter night. His eyes reflect the heaven stars, the Maker's light. My body opens, filled and blessed, my spirit there.
Not merely housed in flesh, but brought to life. Shall we read another?
They will say one of two things about me. That I stood at the Inquisitor's side, his protector and his lover. That it was meant to be. Or they will say I was led from the path of faith by the wiles of a madman.
I don't care what they say. What do you believe?
I believe you are the herald of Andraste, even if you do not. Beyond that, I believe only that you are capable of anything. And it frightens me. I have never known anything like it. I've been with only one other man in my life. A mage, with whom I adventured when I was still very young. He died at the Conclave. I will not let Corypheus win. I will not let him take you from me.
The way you say that, I believe it.
Good. The sight of you warms the heart.
I was hoping we could spend some time together.
You need not even ask.
Inquisitor.
Your worship.
Inquisitor?
right.
Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
No red lyrium, no allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagna's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox, a name I did not expect to hear.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from ancient Tevinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Did he serve with you and Samson in Kirkwall?
Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the Order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
I can't believe they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Why would Maddox need saving?
When the mages rebelled in Kirkwall, the worst battles took place at the gallows in the circle itself. I thought Maddox had died in the fighting, or was eking out a living on the streets. A hard fate for a tranquil in Kirkwall. Samson must have found him, taken him in.
Having an inside man among Samson's forces would be invaluable, if we could convince him.
I couldn't say. I've lived around Tranquil most of my life, and I've never understood them. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil and Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. Supplies we can trace. I can have our men kick down some doors, Inquisitor. Samson's armor might lead us right to his stronghold.
They're up the river. That old Tevinter building must be what the spirit meant.
Of Hakon would rather we weren't here.
This is brilliant. This must be what the spirit meant. Excellent find. From what I can see, this is an ancillary station. Likely a scouting post for the larger structure to the east. What can it tell us about where Inquisitor Ameridan went?
Inquisitor.
Here, an offering for your father. From you.
Inquisitor, I can't.
Consider my gift to the Hold a gift to you. Though perhaps don't spread that around.
But the Huntmaster...
Said he'd accept an offering from the hand that gave it.
I don't know what to say.
Just take care of yourself.
Thank you.
I'll let you rest.
Lady keep you.
Our Huntmaster prepares an offering from Finn Coldenson. Nothing more has been said. I will only thank you for paying hospitality to an invalid. I must complete the preparations. A strange turn of events may not make Colden's journey any easier. The gods measure both outcome and the actions, or deceptions, behind it.
I should be off.
Lady keep you.
Professor Kendrick here safely. The rest is up to you.
Lady Harding was quite nimble in the wilderness.
I'll be watching to make sure the Hackonites don't come back.
This is Tevinter, from well before the last Inquisitor's time. I understand they use such tiles as locks. Interesting, though not likely related to a Meriden. I believe that shape relates to the tiles. If you could replicate the shape in the tiles, something would happen. Brilliant! Look at that! Elven. I believe it's the word for light. It's some sort of clue to this barrier. Not sure how.
That didn't do the trick.
No good.
Oh, well done. Well done indeed.
That's something you don't see every day.
A pair of shrines. This one is clearly Andrastian, albeit from a very early period, likely pre-divine. But this is Elven, one of their gods. What was it? Every mother finds Druffalo among sleeping juniper groves. G something, the one with the deer.
Unless the deer points us to the final resting place of Inquisitor Emeridon, we can probably leave it for now.
Right. Regardless of the deity, this is clearly Elven.
2 shrines for 2 lovers. Inquisitor Emeridon and Talana. Maybe Talana was an elf.
Oh, yes. That's good. The Chantry expunged references to elves before the Exalted March on the Dales. They erased the Canticle of Shartan. They must have done the same to Talana.
You think this is where Emeridon died?
No, this was a site of preparation, not burial. Emeridon and Talana put up this shrine together.
Look at those flowers. They're not native to the area. What if they were left at the shrine as an offering?
Yes. A night of prayer before battle against the dragon. But then where? Where? We're missing something. What are we missing? Oh, where did you go?